Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale. And morning, Josh.
Good morning.
It's a beautiful Saturday morning out there in no cake land, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hey, anyway, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. That's what the show really kind of started out to be, Josh.
Yep.
We got all kinds of stuff coming at us today.
Yeah.
So anything ailing your car you want to talk about, heck, if you even want to talk about the NCAA tournament, we can talk about that too. We get you each and every caller call in here, and 316-462-3673. It comes to the front desk and tell the girls you're going to get passed in the podcast. And, you know, I think if you want to talk about the tournament, we're good with that too. But,
there's definitely been some upsets in that deal. But
how about Purdue?
I guess that's the reason that they play the game, right? If they knew how it was going to turn out, they'd just put it out there and say, hey, this is it. So.
That's right. So if you want to get a debate going about the NCAA tournament, we'd love to talk about that too. So, but anything ailing your car, whatever, anything in the automobile world, anything in the racing world, love to hear from you on that side of the point too. But good morning, Delbert. Delbert's live as always with us. So, yeah, anyway, NCAA tournament, we want to talk about that. We want to talk about new products. We want to talk anything in the racing world. How about the Hendrick Group's getting fined $400,000?
You're going to have to fill me in there.
All right, I'll get you filled in on that. Let's first, what's in that price package, Josh, for each and every caller for calling in the show?
Okay, so again, just call up and you got an issue with your car. Let's see what's going on with it and get you pointed in direction. Sometimes we'll even throw in a diagnostic on it as well. But just for each and every caller that calls in the show, we're going to mail out a package. It's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection, checking over that vehicle, just making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the big corner. You get complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Again, anything ailing your car, anything you don't understand, anything in automobile world, anything in racing, anything with the NCAA tournament on the debate on what's going on there. Love to hear from you from that part too. The food at the diner is pretty good too.
There you go.
Brandon does do a great job over there. He's got a breakfast going on there this morning. I don't figure we're having for lunch yet, Josh.
Not yet. Yeah, he did a chicken fried steak yesterday, or I don't know, maybe it was the day before that. But that but you get about those specials run out pretty dang quick.
Well, I went over there because I saw him flying out of there too. Time I got over there, guess what?
Gone,
sold out,
gone.
History. He said, next time I'll save one for you. I said, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to up the production on that meal, I believe. So we'll see what we can do to make that happen.
Okay. Anyway, we got a caller coming through.
Yeah, we're getting Colin patched through and see what's on his mind this morning. So.
All right, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. And again, each and every caller, I get that lovely, great price package, about over $130 for each and every caller. So love to hear from you here. We'll get Colin passed through, see what's on Colin's mind here real quickly, and see what's up on his situation today.
Colin, you're live with Under the Hood. How are you this morning?
Just fine, guys. Thanks. Long-time listener and long-time user of Mel Hambelton's Quick Lane.
Very good.
And you guys have done so much for all of my cars over the years. But now I have an older vehicle that I just recently did some major work to, including getting the oil changed just the other day through you guys. And I was wondering, is changing the transmission fluid or the radiator fluid something I need to do?
So, Colin, what kind of vehicle are we working with, and how many miles?
It's a 2007 Toyota Corolla.
Okay, 2007 Corolla, and how many miles are on the vehicle?
170,000.
170,000. Okay, so there's a couple things that we can talk about in regards to fluid exchanges and intervals and things like that for sure. But all the other fluids in the vehicle, much like just the engine oil, yes, it is important to change that stuff and provide routine service to those other components. That fluid, its job is to lubricate, but a lot of people don't understand that its primary job is to cool. And to be able to keep the components, in an operating temperature or range. And as that fluid breaks down, then the fluid starts to overheat quicker and quicker and quicker. But then to mention, I mean, you get dirt and debris, or in engine coolant cases, it breaks down, and your pH level will be either high and acid and be corrosive, or low and more like water and not be able to then you'll get rust in the cooling system from that side of it. And so it's very important to service all those other fluids on a vehicle like that with that many miles on it. And I'm assuming it's new to you. Is that correct, Colin? Or
Yes, sir.
okay, so you don't really know what the service history of it has been previously. And so what we would do is, on the multi-point inspection, we would actually pull fluid samples of all the other fluids and just see how they look. On coolant and brake, we're able to test both of those with some strips to indicate, for the coolant side of it, is the pH level and freeze point. And then for the brake side of it, we're looking for moisture in the fluid. And that would indicate, whether it would be, when it would need to be changed out as well. But it's just important to change all those other fluids as it is the engine oil for sure. So, Phil, I don't know what you have to add to that, or.
Well, to be honest with you, I've been over here trying to get this page to work,
fine.
and I got a little bit. So I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Fall out of that situation.
One of the things for sure, Colin, is a vehicle with the most common misconceptions that we hear, specifically on the transmission fluid, is you get consumers that have a vehicle, with your mileage on it or higher, and they start having transmission issues, and then they think at that point, hey, I'm having transmission issues, I'm going to service the transmission or flush the fluid out. Well, at that point, you've already went too far. The purpose of that service is to keep from having issues. Once you develop an issue, that's not the time to be servicing the transmission on these vehicles for sure. So I would want to make sure that we don't have any issues with the vehicle previous to servicing it. But as long as the fluid didn't look too terrible, I wouldn't be opposed to servicing it as well. So
awesome. Okay, so just get my butt down there with you guys.
Yeah.
Great. I'll definitely do that. Thank you, sir.
Colin, appreciate the call. Thanks for using our services at the quick lane that we offer there for you, and let us know how we can help you in the future. Okay.
I certainly will. Thanks again.
Have a good day, Colin. All right, sorry I missed out on all that, Josh.
Okay.
I was trying to get the other page over here to work in case we didn't put something up. I know we were trying to get something up. Hey, morning, James Furman. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for listening, everybody out there. So anyway, Josh, we'll flip gears here and go to NASCAR for a minute. And I got a little bits and pieces of what happened to the Hendrick guys, but I do know that last weekend they confiscated all 4 of their cars, the hood louvers, and they came out Tuesday with a $100,000 fine per car.
Wow.
So what it amounts to, and Chad Knaus is out there talking about it too, and I listened a little bit of his stuff yesterday too. And I kind of understand, but you never know what's really happening or whatever. Basically, there's like 30 some parts that NASCAR mandates that you can't touch. They have to be put on the car just like they are, whatever. Well, I guess these hood louvers don't fit the hood. So the manufacturer of the hood, louvers, they didn't put their things together. So they've got to trim or do something to make those louvers fit. And it just sounds to me like that maybe NASCAR thought they went a little bit too far on what they were modifying or what they were doing.
Gotcha.
Then the debate that comes out there is they caught it before they raced. They didn't race with them and then get caught. So that there was really no advantage to the deal, but they were trying to get it or whatever. So that's where some of the battles and debates are coming is it should have been $100,000 per car, or what they should have done there, or whatever either. And like Chad Knaus says, we've got to trim them. We got to either that or get the 2 manufacturers together to where the hood louver, you don't have to, it just fits in the hood, but it doesn't fit. And NASCAR knows it doesn't fit. So it's a big gray area and a lot of issues out there. So if you want to debate that too, or the NCAA tournament, or want to debate the NASCAR $400,000 fine. Plus, they took away like 25 driver points and owner points and all kinds of stuff too with that too.
And I'm guessing they're, as a team, they're probably more upset about the points than they are the money. I guess at the end of the day. But
well, those points are worth a lot of money too. So
yeah.
anyway, they naturally have appealed it. So who knows what that appeal process will go through, whatever either.
Yeah, the fact that they didn't even race, that to me says something. It would be one thing if we were on the track and there was some sort of advantage or whatever from there. But
yeah,
that's
they
tough.
got no advantage whatsoever because they caught them before the race and all that kind of stuff. But I know there is some strict rules on these new cars and everything else too. I get that, and to try to keep the level playing field for everybody, that kind of thing. I go back to years ago how the rules were made. Guys cheated in what they did and all that kind of stuff to get an advantage. And I get it. I mean, it's just like in any sport. You try to get the best advantage you can or whatever, but there are rules, there are laws. But I do think myself opinion that, you go back to some of the other penalties they put out there and stuff like that, that they've done to other teams and stuff. But I still think $400,000 is a big, huge fine for what they did.
And again, I'm guessing they're probably more frustrated about the points than the money at the end of the day. I don't know.
When I listened to a little bit of the Chad Knaus deal yesterday, it's just basically he's just frustrated that they didn't get no advantage or anything else like that, and he's basically upset that you do. He said, you shouldn't have to be trimming these parts; they should fit. If there's a part you can't touch or alter or do anything to it, we shouldn't have to alter it to get it to fit the car. But anyway. 316-462-3673. Want to debate anything about the NASCAR ruling, whatever? Love to hear from you on that. Want to talk about the NCAA tournament? Want to talk about racing? Because racing for the dirt track stuff's coming around the corner. Of course, drag strip's not too far away either from that part. So, hey, anyway, good morning, Jason Cox. And Mr. Furman, you need to get your oil changed before you head down to Humboldt next week. Well, you know what? Give us a call. We'll come pick it up for you. We got a pick up and delivery service. We'll pick up and deliver that car for you and get it taken care of. So you don't have to come down here. We can come pick it up your work, your house, whatever it might be, make it easy for you, James. And of course, everybody listen, we offer that service to about anybody that would like to have that service to where we can come and pick up your vehicle and get it serviced for you. So not a problem. All right. We got another caller coming through, Josh. Mr. Whitehead getting ready to get on the phone. What do you think he's going to? You think he's going to debate the NCAA tournament, or do you think he's going to debate the NASCAR ruling?
I'm just surprised he's up. Yeah, honestly, with yesterday being St. Patrick's Day, and I don't know, just surprised he's up.
Yep. Here we go.
We'll get him on the line. Jordan, good morning.
What's up? My two favorite guys.
You are funny this morning. You got your Bluetooth hooked up and ready to go?
God, no more of that. Yeah, we're aux cord all the way, baby. Aux cord.
No, you got to get in the 2000s.
Aux cord all the way. I'll start calling you aux cord.
That's Bluetoother.
Yeah. What do you got going on this morning?
Well, first of all, we're debating. Are you calling to debate the NCAA tournament, or are you calling to debate the Hendrick $400,000 fine?
Hendrick, the NCAA tournament. I mean, who's playing? I don't even care. The Hendrick, the race. I'm calling about the race.
Okay. I knew that. We were just curious if maybe you switched teams yet or not.
No. Anyway, so here's my take on it, and I'm not trying to cause any controversy here, but here's why I don't watch NASCAR anymore. NASCAR is. Oh, I trimmed my hood louvers too far. Oh, my hood louvers, $100,000. This sport was invented on these cats back in the day, sniffing around that rule book and and figuring out how to make that kitty purr. I mean, Bill Elliott driving off with the fuel tank out of it because his fuel line was too big, and they quoted in Days of Thunder everything he's going to do to make that car illegal. NASCAR's gone soft. That's all I got to say. Hood louvers, come on. That's my take.
Jordan, I know it's a lot of money and a lot of dollars everybody, these sponsors put out there too for these cars and stuff like that, and what it takes to build one of these cars and stuff. But I'm with you too. I mean, if they raced it and they found it after the fact and they had some advantage of winning or getting better places and stuff, then I might agree with you. But they caught this before they raced or did whatever. And my next thing
absolutely, they caught it before they raced.
And the next thing is they got to trim them to put the hood. They need, if they're going to make the parts, you can't alter the parts, then they better fit. And that's what Chad Knaus is saying. They don't fit. You got to trim them. You got to adjust them to get them to fit the hood.
I like
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
yeah,
I mean,
the scenario of the sport
it's their
being
job
built
to live
around
in the
that.
gray area, and it's their job to live in the gray area. It's NASCAR's job to police it. My buddy Daniel Osowski told me that. He said every year the World of Outlaws rule book would come out, and I would read it cover to cover and figure out where can I find in the gray area, what can I play with, what rule can be rewritten because of me, and yeah, that's so yeah. If they would have won the race and it was an advantage, sure, fine. But yeah, the car never hit the track. I mean, if they showed up with a sprint car wing on it, take the wing off, guys. It never hit the track. No harm, no foul. That's BS, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. It's kind of like back in the day, they said we're not rule breakers, we're rule makers. So
absolutely,
yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I disagree with it
Dale
too.
Earnhardt would roll over in his grave if he saw what's going on right now.
Even if I think if Earnhardt was still alive and this went down, I think Earnhardt would have been over in the NASCAR tech guys in their faces about that, even though it's not his team or whatever, trying to say how stupid that was. But to do that big of a fine,
absolutely
crazy.
Yeah, sunglasses on and everything, Intimidator style.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not watching the NCAA tournament, huh?
No, NCAA. I don't even know what that is.
He
March
says,
Madness.
yeah, he
March,
says
March Madness means it's got a race car ready to go. That's March Madness. Mad Dash race cars.
I get it.
He says, when do they play?
Yeah. That's right. There's a lot of excitement about the Purdue number 1 seed getting picked off by a number 16 seed. Jordan, is what's happened. Second time in the history of the tournament. But I tell you, I didn't get to see it either. I saw the highlights, and the reason I didn't get to see it because we was getting the race car trailer ready. Yeah. That's what was happening there. Even Josh was helping me yesterday.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said about Purdue and all that. I just dozed off for a second. Sorry, I was trying to wake back up. I didn't catch that. So yeah, that's neat. That's a neat story. Cool, real cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wake back up. You guys are putting me to sleep with all that. So, anyways, yeah, obviously don't care. I don't care about the NCAA tournament. I'm sorry, I don't. But I mean, good for those who do. That's why we live in America, man. Everyone has a different hobby. That ain't mine.
Yeah, I wish it. I do kind of like watching stuff. You know, I watched K-State win last night, and that's the only time I've got a chance to watch it because in the evenings, whatever. Guess what I'm doing? I'm wrenching on a race car or a trailer or something.
Trying to get it ready to go.
Yeah. Trying to get ready.
I turn it on when I have trouble sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, I'm glad you didn't want to debate the NCAA tournament. I would have bet a lot of money that you wouldn't have. So
yeah, no, like I said, not my cup of tea. So, all right, well, you boys, I'm about to go have some biscuits and gravy here at the Rusted Rooster in Andover. If you're ever in town, you might want to check it out. It's a gem.
What is it again?
The Rusted Rooster.
It's called the Rusted Rooster. It's a little breakfast dive here in Andover, Kansas.
Did you say rusted or roasted?
I know it's not in Haven. They got the Amish House of Pain or whatever, but
Amish House
similar.
Oh, you're too funny, Jordan.
Home of the live chicken omelet. Woo! So,
if you can catch it, you can eat it.
If you can catch it, you can eat it. Haven, Kansas, home of Josh Prophet.
There we go. Well, enjoy your breakfast.
All right,
enjoy your
guys.
biscuits and gravy.
Have an order for me
I
too,
will.
Jordan.
Rusty Rooster.
All right.
I will. Bye, guys.
See you. All right, 316-462-3673. Anything you want to debate on the NASCAR, you want to debate on the NCAA tournament, or just talk about anything in the automobile world, we'd love to hear from you from that part. Josh, you see that white thing sitting on the showroom floor?
I did. Yeah, I was checking that out yesterday.
Our first 2023 Super Duty has hit the ground, and it's on our showroom floor. I think it'll be here through Monday. Of course, Ford started building the base model truck, so this is an XL crew cab, 4-wheel drive with the STX package on it, and I can't remember if it's got this. I need to look, see if it's got the 7.3 or the 6.8 in it. I'm not sure. I'd like to see that 6.8 motor. It's a brand new motor and everything for 2023. So if you want to see the 2023 XL STX package, white crew cab.
I'm just in, I don't want to say disbelief, but the base packages anymore have so many options on them. You know, from that side of things.
It's not a plain Jane anymore,
it's
is it?
just amazing on how well this thing is equipped as a base model.
Yeah.
from that side of it, but it does look really, really good. We got to see one at, I don't know, was one of those, where the heck was that?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where were we when we saw those.
Anyways, but that's been a day or two ago.
We're in Vegas for the new.
I think we were in
Vegas.
Vegas.
They brought it out. They brought out a
Mhm.
platinum.
Yep. And that's definitely been a day or two ago. So to be able to see it, see it here in store and be able to get up to it and stuff. It's they're definitely sharp looking trucks for sure.
So anyway, this is a gas motor truck. The diesels are still coming. They haven't released any diesels yet. Why? I'm not sure 100% what they're saying. I think what I really believe it is with our supply chain the way it is, they don't have all the parts available to build the diesel. They built a bunch of them because I've got about 30 of them up there that say sent off site from that part. So I know they've got them built, but I think they just don't have all of the parts to put them out there from that part. So anyway, if you want to come see the 2023 Super Duty in person, it's got one sitting here on the showroom floor. You can look at it on our Facebook page too. We've got it up there. Took some pictures of it yesterday and everything else too. So we've got a lot more trucks coming. Of course, they're all sold.
Super Duty is a hot commodity, that's for sure.
It is. It's pretty crazy. So I can't wait to get all these trucks here that we got built and got them coming from that part too. So if you want to check that out, come see us on that one.
The other day we had a transport, about 4 transports drop off. So
we are finally
on the new side.
It's coming. It's not as fast as we all would like it to be here or whatever from that part, but it is coming from that part of the trucks and cars are coming. We do have several F-150s on the ground we've not had forever. We got some Explorers, we got some Edges, and a few Escapes. Still waiting on our first 2023 Escape to hit the ground. It should be anytime we should start seeing those 2023 Escapes. So lots of new exciting stuff coming. We just got to get this supply chain under control and from that part. So,
one of the things, we went to the Ford Pro meeting up this week, but I don't know. I was going to ask the consumers. So all the listeners out there, I've got a question for you. As a consumer, would you rather have your vehicle pick up and delivered back to you, or would you rather have a mobile service done?
Okay. 316-462-3673. Mobile service or pickup and delivery. Love to hear from you. Get a great price package, about over $130 for each and every caller. But love to hear from you and give us your opinion. Josh and I have an opinion.
Yeah. And I want to kind of lead into a couple of different questions during that and stuff like that. But on a mobile service and what defines a mobile service from that side, and that's basically you have something going on with your car, whether that's a for sure known repair. So like a piece of trim that's broke, or a recall, or something that we know what the start, finish, and end is to that, or a preventative maintenance item to be performed. So we're not coming out really doing diagnosis per se, because there's so many variables in those situations as to having all the tools and equipment that we need versus parts that we would need to make the repair, or what it would take to diagnose that vehicle. There's just so many variables in that, and to be able to know that. So it's really a mobile service would be a repair that you knew what you were doing, the steps to perform it, and would be able to have, the tools and equipment with you to be able to do that.
Greg Murray says pickup and delivery.
Okay.
So there's one.
There you go.
Who else? Pickup and delivery or mobile service? And, Ford is pushing this mobile service a lot.
And then the other reason, Greg, why? So we'll get why pickup and delivery over mobile service as well. So we've got a call coming through. We'll get that patched in. So.
And I'll go around my Facebook page. I got Tommy asking me, he's trying to stir the pot a little bit here. He's wanting to know, what's your opinion on black wheels on race cars? Well, I hate to tell you. I do not like black wheels on race cars.
An opinion. He's really neutral. Just kind of whatever. Yeah, whatever.
It is chrome or go home.
Chrome or go home.
I think black wheels don't look good on race cars. Yes, I know NASCAR's used them for years in the 3 car that we're, putting on our modified stuff. Yes, I know it had black wheels too, but I'm telling you, I think chrome looks so much better in that car. I wish we get Buddy Mullins to call in and tell us how he feels about chrome wheels versus black wheels. Not sure he's listening today, but he could be.
But he could be. So let's go to the phone. Let's talk to Delbert. Delbert, you're on live with Under the Hood. How are you this morning?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
So we're talking about a little different things, which brought in my mind something that happens here in Oklahoma City a lot. I don't think you guys do this, but if you do, awesome for the customer, not so much for the driver. I'm talking Lyft and Uber rides. Sorry, I don't know if I can use those names, but anyway,
No, that's
right,
fine.
sure, let's go with that.
Uh-huh.
We have to bleep that out. So
no. So here's
here's the thing that they do here. They tell there's a certain company here, dealership, that tells their customers not to tip the drivers because it's included. It is not. It is not.
Really?
And when we try to explain that to the passengers, they're like, "Well, we didn't know. We were told there was no tip required. They give it." And I'm like, "Well, no. That's the same with getting a ride from a hospital, taking somebody back home, because hospitals do that, clinics do it, and now car dealerships are doing it." And
so I will say, Delbert,
my only thing is, if you guys do that, at least give the driver $1. That would be something better than nothing.
Sure. Yeah. Take care of the people that are taking care of you, for sure. So here's what's going on with that for us. That is a service that has been presented multiple times. In fact, they have it integrated into our DMS system, which is the computer system we use for writing repair orders and creating invoices and stuff like that. And then we also
given out to you guys by Ford, right?
Yeah.
Ford.
Well, yeah, it's essentially RedCap is the other thing, and it's integrated into that as well. And we are really about trying to provide the best customer service experience that we can. The slogan is experience the difference. Well, how can you experience the difference when there's nothing different? And so, we really do try to make that happen every time. And when you use a third-party company like that, it becomes very hard to control the things you can have no control over. And, I think Uber and Lyft is great. I'm sure there's a lot of great drivers out there that do a fantastic job or a wonderful job.
Yeah, like me.
But yeah, exactly. But for me, it's the fear of the unknown and turning that over to somebody else. And then I have no control over what my customer experience is like. And so for that reason, for us, for me, that's the reason that it's in the house. I don't know if
I'm going to throw a little something up here, Murray. There, if I have to go over here.
Well, I agree with you guys. I think you guys should not offer it, but other dealerships do, and I think you guys are different because of what you do for the customers.
Yeah, it's like Greg Mercer says. The shop has all the tools. Should things be discovered that are beyond what was initially anticipated, plus mechanics in their own environment set of random places. There's so many situations like this, like Greg's bringing up and everything else, that I firmly believe I'd rather have the car here where we can, if we do find something. Heaven forbid we don't, but if we do find something, that we can actually take care of it for you and help you with that. If we're out there in the world, then guess what? We can't help you with it from that part. But my biggest thing is I know if we didn't have enough bays to take care of it or that sort of thing, then I get it. Or if you're in an area that's hard to get to, or a dealership's in a bad spot or whatever from that part, or you just don't have enough, you got enough technicians, but you don't have enough bays, and you can go out and do some of these works and stuff like that too. I think it's an alternative and an idea and stuff like that too. But I'd much rather have this car in my shop, ready to do what we can take for you. And really, as a consumer, you're really no different whether it's mobile service or pickup and delivery. You as a consumer,
you're still getting the same service.
Same service.
Yeah,
exactly. So,
well, I think you guys give better service than any dealership out there, but that's just my opinion. And when I went to the Ford dealer here that is now closed, I can say that, because he wasn't going to comply with Ford's requirements. But they didn't rotate my tires last time. And I know this because I have a tire that slowly leaks. When I say slowly, it takes over a week for it to lose about 4 pounds of pressure. Mm-hmm. So You know, it's still in the same spot, and you know that's not good for your tires. Luckily, since I've rotated them every time, it now makes me wonder how many times did they not rotate them. I have no proof other than it says they rotated the tires, and you know, so on and so forth.
Well, and then it makes you think, what
but-
else did they not do?
Yeah.
Even though you can't.
Exactly. Did they not check my fluids to see if they needed to be changed or not? I mean, you know, I have no idea. I know you guys do that. That's another great service you guys offer. Those little test strips are not cheap. I just looked them up. So if somebody thinks, well, they're just using a little test strip. No, these are specialized test strips, especially for brakes. The pH papers, they're very accurate. I use them for my job at the Air Force Base here I work at in Oklahoma City. So they're very accurate, and they will tell you your pH of your antifreeze.
Yeah.
And the brake ones will tell you does it need to be serviced or not? And it's not a question of whether it does or doesn't. It's going to tell you that. So you guys don't have to do any guesswork. Well, yeah, sure, it looks dirty, but does it need to be changed?
Yeah.
And that pH is more crucial than anything today in your antifreeze. It's not the freeze point; it's that pH level.
Yeah, especially in a General Motors product. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, no, I get it. Get it totally. That's our whole thing is, Delbert, we try to give a great service that we would give to anybody, and a quality service with integrity and character about it. We're human. Do our techs and advisors and everybody make mistakes? Sure do. But you know,
and do they get busy? They sure do.
And
Well,
when we make a mistake,
yeah.
it's how I look at a mistake is we're going to get better, can learn from it. And number two, it's how does someone take care of that mistake? Do you hurry up and fix it and take care of it, or do you try to sweep it under the rug, or you try to deny it, or whatever? But
Or don't do anything at all about
don't
it.
do anything about
Or
it.
at least put it on the report and say, hey, we found this, and you know,
Yep.
we think you should change it now or fix it now. But if not, we can let it sit for a little while.
Yep, exactly. So, well, anyway,
Which has happened every time I went to Mel Hambelton. No matter what car I brought in, they would tell me if there's a problem or not. So
Yep.
that's awesome.
Well, here so far we've got Dan Wicks says pick up and delivery. Rex Strigaro says mobile service. Nah, we'll come pick it up. Yeah, I agree with that. And so far we haven't got anybody so far saying they'd love to have a mobile service visit.
On the mobile service.
Let's
side
take
of
these
things.
stats to Ford, Josh.
So, well,
But anyway, Ford is
yeah.
making us to be what we call a certified pro dealer. They're making us have a mobile service van. We have to buy one. So you know what?
And that may,
Go ahead.
and that's one thing that could be another show option is, you know, talk about what you guys as a dealership are going to have to do to become the centers that Ford wants you to be. You know, I heard 3 different types of dealerships basically you're going to have to be after a certain time frame, whenever that's going to be: electric, regular, and service. So and used cars. It sounds like they're wanting to separate your used cars from your dealership. So
really,
things I'm hearing,
yeah.
don't know the facts like you guys do. So that might be something to talk about too.
Well, really what they're trying to do is they're trying to decide if they want, first of all, does the dealer want to be an EV dealer? And if you do, then there's 2 levels of EV dealers to be there. One would be you're going to get less than 25 cars per year to sell, but you can service them and take care of them with your certified techs. The other one is you're going to get, who knows what the number is really going to be yet, a bigger number of cars to sell. But then you got a whole nother range of requirements to go through to be that EV top dealer. Well, we signed up for the top because we're not going, we want to do everything we possibly can for every customer from that part. So we did sign up for the top package. We got to spend a buttload of money that I don't understand yet. And I've voiced my opinion to the fleet side, the commercial side, and I voiced my opinion to the retail side about those different things. And I don't think I'm the only dealer in the country that feels the same way I do on that part.
I'm sure you're not.
And so first of all, they need to get us some vehicles to sell. That's the first thing that needs to happen. And then we can start.
So far, the way they've changed how things are going due to the supply chain, you know, I'm not a guy that can go in there and say, well, I like how this car fits me. I want to buy it. I got to feel it, get in it, and see how it fits me because of being in them so much. Now, if you're just a average Joe, you know, an F-150 is an F-150. It's going to be comfortable regardless because that's just the way they make them. But your cars and I know they're going away with cars, excuse me, your Mustangs and that, those are for people that are looking for, in my opinion, a faster car. So sometimes they put the V6s in them. They're so fast, not as fast as V8, but they're so fast. They've done so much to these engines that make them so much better
Well, and that's the
than
other thing
they
is
ever
all
were.
these manufacturers that are putting out there, if they're going to go full electric and all this kind of stuff, there's still too many ICE vehicles running around, and I still think they're going to produce many more of those ICE vehicles and stuff too, from that part. And the full electric deal, we're so far away from that, it's crazy.
I agree. I think they should go with the partial electric and engine still, because supply chain. I mean, batteries. You can't get the stuff because of where the materials are located to get. So.
Yep, I get it. So this supply chain is going to be crazy till we get that under control. The electric thing is coming. I get it. We're going to do those electric vehicle stuff. I can't wait to see some units in stock that we can sell instead of ordered units and that sort of thing too. So I think we got a little ways to go on the electric side. I understand that everybody out there too. My opinion on electric vehicles is there's a niche market for that, and I understand that. But the government has put these CAFE ratings so high that the manufacturers can't reach that goal with internal combustion engines to build our trucks and everything else that we need to build to conclude that number. So the electric is going to get their CAFE rating where it needs to be. So I understand why they need to build some, but there's never going to be an electric Super Duty
for everybody. Yeah.
It can't happen. There's no way you're going to have a Super Duty to do the work of electric. Can't happen. And the F-150, the thing I love about an F-150 is a hybrid. I think that is the way to go with an F-150. Over and above the electric side of that coin from that part. And, you got the customer that drives less than, say, 50 miles a day. The electric thing's okay. It'll be okay for you. But you're ready to make a long trip or whatever, you're going to have to really plan and do your things together from that part. So, but I do believe electric's got a niche. I mean, I drove a Lightning for, I don't know, 1,500, 1,800 miles or whatever. And I got along great with it. From my house to the dealership is 16 miles. So it was easy. I plugged in every time I got here at the store, back and forth, off we went, no problem. But the customer that's driving over 100 miles a day or 200 miles a day, I don't know how it's going to work. So.
Yeah, I agree. And I know there's people out there that use the electric car. I won't give name brands, but the electric car, and they seem to do all right doing rideshare. But I mean, I can't see, unless you have a supercharger in your house, how you're going to make that work,
Yeah, the only thing I will tell you is it's the in-town driving with electric, with the regenerating braking. When you're if you drive that thing, and I did this with the Lightning, if you drive it correctly and you let off the gas like you need to, and you put it in the right mode and all that kind of stuff, I could almost go, like I said, it's 16 miles to my house. I could almost go and not lose much of a charge because of how I was braking. But that's not how I drive. I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
My foot's on the floor most of the time.
Exactly.
From that part. So
We're
if you're
on one
driving
pedal
in
or
town,
the other.
yeah. So if you're driving in town and using the regenerative braking, you're going to recharge that battery every time you apply the brakes. So depending on how you apply the brakes and what you do with it, how much charge is going to put back in that battery. But I do think that technology is going to get better. I think they will come up with some batteries that are going to get a 300-mile range and only take 4 hours to charge or something like that. But we're a long ways from that. That's for sure.
Yeah, maybe on a 240, but we're looking at maybe having a 110 in most homes, so they don't have to modify their house to get this vehicle to charge.
Well, and if you're going to try to charge one of these right now today on a 110, you can't drive it every day. Can't happen. You're going to have to put a 220 in your house charger if you're going to drive the car every day, period. Right now, with the range and things that are on these cars, you have to. I was driving that Lightning over Christmas, and we had that 3 days that we were off here at the store, and I had ran that Lightning down to, I think, 30-some%. It took 36 hours to get it back to 100% of charge on 110. I did it on purpose just to see how long it would take it to get it there from that part. So, again, if you're going to drive it on a daily basis,
stare at the truck, not be able to drive it, and go, man, I wish I could drive that truck today.
Yep, exactly. So, anyway, all kinds of debates on that electrical stuff. I know it's coming. We gotta address it. We got to take care of it, and we will. So it's going to get interesting as we go through. I just want to see Ford produce some cars and put them on our lots so we can have them to sell. That's all I want. Just give me some cars.
Yep.
That's why I keep telling them, give me some cars.
Yep.
Give me some trucks. Give me something.
But one of the things, I live over by where they deliver from trains vehicles, and Chrysler Dodge has been getting a crap ton. They've got the parking lot over there full, which is pretty big. I'll send you a picture via messenger so you can see how big that parking lot is. And it was full the other day when I drove by.
Yep.
It's just crazy how many cars they got for them. So it makes me wonder, are they having trouble getting transport to put them in the dealerships? Or,
I'll bet
in
there's-
this protective,
I'm going to bet they're
here,
sitting there waiting
so-
on. They don't have all the parts to be able to put them all together 100% to ship them. I'm going to guarantee as well. We talk about the chips and all that stuff. I think that's still a little bit of the issue, but I'm telling you, it's all the other parts.
Well, these are cars that came from the factory that are going to dealers. Usually they come in and pick them up fairly quickly, but in this case, they've had them sitting there for a while. So if that's the case, I'm like, why would they even ship them?
Yeah, get them because they don't have anywhere else to store them. That's the other thing. They have no place to put them, so that's why they're shipping them other places to get them stored, and then they'll ship the parts or do whatever. I tell you, those cars don't have the parts. I promise you, that's what's happened. I mean, because we were at our Ford meeting on Tuesday, and that's what the guy said. He said, basically, I'll need 100 widgets, 1,000 widgets this week to build what we're going to build, and the supplier will say, okay, I'll get you 1,000, and the truck shows up with the widgets on it, and there's only 800 on it instead of 1,000. He said it happens constantly to us every day that the suppliers cannot supply all the parts for us that we need to build that whole weeks of production in there. So I feel
so now they're scrambling to fill the production so they don't have to shut down the assembly plant. And so they're putting other stuff in there and building it incomplete basically, and having to figure out what's incomplete, what's not, where it's incomplete, and where to get the product to finish it up and how to install it. And from the logistics standpoint, I'm sure it's a nightmare, Yep,
it is. So anyway,
and then you guys get a bunch of parts again and go, okay, what car does this go to?
Well, and I'm going to give you another example with the situations. You're like, I traded for a 22 F-150, and the customer accidentally broke out the rear tail light on it, and we can't get one. Because I know where it is. All the production of that taillight from that supplier is going to production, and there's nothing to put on this truck. And then I don't think there's even an ETA that can give us when we can have one of them taillights for the back of that truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. No,
I get it. So,
all right, gentlemen, I hope somebody else is calling in. I don't mind talking, but I want to give others a chance. So we'll get off the line and hopefully get somebody calling in to 316-462-3673. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on YouTube, and like and share at Facebook. Get these guys out there, get this channel growing.
Perfect. Delbert, thank you for the call, and have a great day.
All right, we'll see you guys on the 7th of April.
All right.
Sounds good. Bye. Thanks, buddy. All right, 316-462-3673. Anyway, got another caller, Josh?
Yeah, we got Jason on the line here. So sorry about the wait there, Jason, but we'll get you patched through here and see what it is you want to talk about this morning, whether it's the NASCAR or March Madness or pickup and delivery or mobile service, or got all sorts of stuff going.
Yeah, and Rex Strigaro, 1,600 charge cycle batteries to be on the routes. I get it. They're about 400 right now. There's a lot of technology coming. Let me know when that call comes out. I can stop.
Yeah.
But anyway, I agree with you, Rex. And it's just, do I think the electric down the road will be there? I think they'll get there, get some range and stuff. But the other thing they've got to get is just make charge time that so long. But after the call, and then one of the guys at that Ford meeting brought up a great analogy about charging batteries. We'll get to that if it's called.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. So anyway, think about charging batteries is blowing up I got the caller. Okay, Go ahead.
Jason, you're on live with Under the Hood. Sorry about the wait there.
Oh, you guys are good. Busy show. Hey, so question about your mobile or delivery or pickup and delivery
mobile
for
service
the oil change?
Pickup and delivery.
Yeah. The only question I have about mobile service, what if they came out and they found something wrong with your vehicle and they couldn't fix it? I would choose that over, or I guess I would go with the pickup and delivery just for that reason.
Yep, I agree with you 1,000%, and that's one of the things for sure. So Ford has really kind of put this out there for oil changes and maintenance, but in their mind they're also thinking recalls. So a vehicle recall that's in between, maybe a vehicle's in between service intervals, and to just go out and to service it. But in our mind, every time we see a car, we want to do a multi-point inspection on it for the consumer's benefit. I mean, obviously from the dealership standpoint, we want to sell everything that every vehicle needs, as far as any type of repair items, but also if there's a issue going on with your car, and we can catch it early. I don't know how many cases that we get involved in on a daily basis, through repairs that we see, that if if a consumer would have taken care of something so much earlier, it would have been so much cheaper to repair instead of waiting over time and continuing to do additional damage to the vehicle. I think of brakes or tires or, an alignment with tire wear. These tires are so expensive, and I've seen people just ruin tires and they don't even know they're doing it either. They're just driving. They're just driving. They don't know the condition of the vehicle, or that the tires are wearing prematurely, or that there's any loose components. And so to me, that multi-point inspection is so crucial. And to do that on a mobile site, I'm not saying that we couldn't get it done, but then when you find those additional items, you're not saving any time,
No.
And so, I agree with you from that side of the things, is that, if we find something else, we need to get it taken care of as well. So.
And I think, Phil, you even said it a couple of weeks ago, this is why you need to bring it into a professional, because somebody like me, I could do my oil change and filter on my truck, but am I going to miss something because I'm really not that mechanically inclined? And that's why I always bring my vehicle to you guys, because you guys do exceptional service. In fact, my nephew's here from Kansas City, and he's bringing his vehicle in this morning to get serviced to you guys. So.
And Jason, you are right.
There you go.
There's so many things to look at under that car and to know if it's right, wrong, or indifferent or whatever. It's just like yesterday, I had a gentleman questioning a diagnosis of one of our techs, and I actually took him back in the stall and raised it up in the air and showed it to him, and to help understand a little bit. But again, sometimes that's not helping either. I mean, but there's a lot of things to look under these cars, and it goes back to that integrity and character thing that I talk about with our techs and our advisors and everybody, to sell the correct thing and not sell you something, just sell you what you need and show you why you need it, and then give you the option to fix it.
And just when we're recalling, that's why I bring it to you guys, because at least in my truck, it's up to Ford specs too. So that's one thing I really like, is that I know when I take it to you guys, everything's going to be at the spec, and my truck's going to last me a long time.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. 100%.
Hey, you guys have a good Saturday. Thanks for taking my call.
You too. Thanks for the call, Jason. Have a good day.
All right, Josh, a lot of great comments and things like that too. And I still think we got to take this show and send it to Ford. So we'll have to anyway, we're going to have a mobile service van, but I'm probably going to use it in the parts division to deliver parts.
So, and I go again, still back to I don't know, there's so many variables to this. Okay. So on a maintenance side, just an oil change and tire rotation, it would be so inefficient for a technician to do an oil change or tire rotation in an environment that is not a shop environment. I mean, you're using floor jacks, you're using jack stands. You got the weather is another thing.
Weather,
the wind, blowing. I think of making a mess or oil around on somebody's driveway or something. Just from something happening.
Yep.
That's outside of these guys' control. And so when I think of the fluid side of things, I think of so many disadvantages from that aspect. And then the recall side of things, I do get that there are a lot of recalls out there that, a lot of different manufacturers have, recalls in today's environment versus what it was years ago. There's so many more recalls as far as the number of recalls that are out there, meaning the different types of recalls. But as far as the volume of each recall, I think is way less. Years ago, you'd have this big, it would be, kind of one recall, but it would cover so many different vehicles and so many different VIN numbers. And so I really do believe
it'd take forever to read through that recall,
mm-hmm.
decipher what you needed to do, decipher what parts you needed, decipher what tools you needed. It was a nightmare. I agree.
So I believe that they are definitely way better on the targeting of the recalls and which vehicles apply, and are very accurate in that. And typically the number of vehicles that you see that are affected by one specific recall is nowhere near what it used to be years ago. So
right.
they've narrowed it down that way,
because they track it so much better and know what.
But the flip side of that is just the overall number of recalls that are out there is so much more, it's so much greater. And then especially as they're producing these vehicles and not getting everything on them and shipping them out with maybe prematurely just to get them to the consumer's hands, and then, come around and recall it later. So I do see the ability to be able to use that. But then again, in my scenario of doing the multi-point inspection, checking everything over, making sure that everything's good. And then if you come up with something, being able to have that part right there to get that customer back on the road quicker, it's
I agree. Anyway, Rex, you've got another good comment here too.
Okay.
I thought my car would be driving itself to the dealership for service by now. Rex, I agree with you. And I'm not saying that's not going to happen sometime too, that you'll set the appointment, it'll drive itself up here to get roll right in there.
On up. Yeah. So
it could happen.
God, I got to think about this just for a little bit, but it's, I'm trying to think of who the comedian's name is, but it's, I'm going to think about this just for a little bit, but he's got to go listen to this. It's a song that he put out there, and I think you've heard it before, but it's Where the Fuck's My Jetpack? Because, God, I know you've heard that, or
probably.
If you haven't, I'll certainly share it with you.
Me.
But it is talks about, I think it was around 2010 is when it originally came out, but it's he talks about, hey, I was promised a jetpack by now, and basically I should be flying around.
Yeah. It's not happened yet, right?
Yeah. Talks about getting pulled over in the song, and son, I'm going to have to write you up for an FUI. All that stuff. So yeah, it's very, very comical. So
okay, Rex says Tim Wilson.
That is exactly. So he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yep.
Okay, we're gonna have to Google up Tim Wilson and see his little song he's got out there for that jetpack. So anyway, running out of time, everybody, and as always, we get going on these calls with Josh. We forget about all our great people to help us keep this show rolling and going. It's Big Corner Creative for all your advertising needs. Hey, you got a company, need anything you need to help advertise, you need a web page design, you need a vehicle wrap, you need windows wrap, you need anything to advertise your company, race car wraps, whatever it might be. Jesse has got a great crew down there at Big Corner Creative, and their slogan is just Google it. And that means Google Big Corner Creative and see what all they got to offer you and everything else. And from that part, BG Products, all the great preventative maintenance products we use right inside here at Mel Hambelton Ford. Again, another good thing about, you talk about character integrity, those guys got that down there at BG. And then when you put that product in your car or do one of these flushes or whatever, I promise you it's going to improve the life of your car and make it run many, many more miles. And remember, what's in that owner's manual is the minimum you need to do to maintain your car, because all the manufacturer cares about is getting you through that warranty period, and that's it. So and Go To Rent. Hey, we bought a whole bunch of cars finally that I could find out there in the used market to get stands, some inventory in there. So bought some Expeditions, bought some F-150s, bought some Explorers. So if you're needing something for the holidays, something coming around the corner, or you just don't want to put the miles in your car, I'd rather rent something, give Stan a call right inside here at Go To Rent. So anyway, Josh, any last thoughts and comments, anything whatsoever?
Just if you need to get in service, let's get in line. Let's get you taken care of. And then the pickup and delivery thing, that is something that we've done for years. And I'm still surprised or shocked at the number of people that don't know that that's a service that we offer. And so we definitely, we're here to help you and make it as convenient as possible for you to get your car either repaired or serviced or worked on. But then also the other side of that is we're not going to shortchange it just to get people in and out. We want to bring it in, do it the right way, and that takes time. From that side of it. So
can't maintain these cars like we did years ago, that's for sure.
Yep.
From that part. So anyway, James Furman, you're very welcome. Big Corner Creative and Mel Hambelton Racing sponsoring James Furman's videos. So if you haven't seen James Furman videos, jump out there and check out. He does all kinds of racetracks and videos, all kinds of stuff. Has a great channel there. So buzz over and see James Furman's video on YouTube. A lot of great stuff there too. So James, thanks for the partnership, and give us a call, James. So we can come pick your car up instead of having to bring that thing in before you head out to Humboldt coming up here next week. The big race there at Humboldt. God, I'm kind of blank on the name of that race, but anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so anyway, all done, finished up, Josh? Anything else? Want to come see the 2023 Super Duty sitting on the showroom floor? It'll be here probably through today, maybe a little bit Monday or whatever too. You can come check that out. And everybody have a great Saturday, and we will talk to you next Saturday at 9 o'clock.